initial reaction when Coach Meyer got that 15-yard penalty for getting hit in the face by the ref?
I don't know. I saw it happen, and I saw he was just like really disappointed in himself. He was just like, man, like it's almost like when your hand got caught in the cookie jar as a little kid or something. So he was, I guess he was a little upset with himself.
Did he apologize to the offense? Because he said today that he felt bad about the 15-yard penalty, and although he said he didn't agree with it.
It's all good.
JT, what can you say about what Dontre Wilson is bringing to the team this year?
I mean, I think a lot of times, I don't know, we try to, I don't know, it's almost like we overlook one or the other between Dontre and Curtis, but they're the same. They're one and the same. I think Dontre doesn't get a lot more running back in between the tackle stuff, but they're both dynamic players that do a lot for our offense, create mismatches with linebackers, and could get up on the safety and make guys missing over the field. So they both are very dynamic players for us.
He broke his foot against Michigan State and caught that touchdown pass, and it sounds like that injury is still kind of lingering. Just he's never really fully healed. Have you ever sensed any frustration with him that he hasn't been able to be maybe the player he wants to be?
Not necessarily. I think he's just, I think he's very thankful in the opportunities that that he gets. I know everybody gets frustrated in our offense at receiver. I think that's part of it because you want to make plays for the team and things like that. So I know that can be frustrating at times, but I think he's grateful for the opportunity that he does get, and I think he tries to make the most of it.
JT, nobody's been ever more responsible for touchdowns at Ohio State than you are. You passed Braxton Miller's record on Saturday, and that's your record. And is it more meaningful, the fact of what that 89th touchdown meant? And I'm just wondering, as you keep looking at this, I know we keep asking you about it, but what does something like that mean to you?
I don't know. It's like I was trying to win games around here. Honestly, I mean records are good and all. Maybe I appreciate them more when I'm 40 or 50. But right now, I don't think records. I don't think that really matter if we didn't win. You know what I'm saying? I think we would talk about a loss more than a record. So I'm worried about winning. I think that I'm very grateful and honored to be here at a place like Ohio State and just be able to help the team win and do the best I can and produce touchdowns.
Well, with that in mind, though, a lot of people thought the moment you came of age as a Ohio State quarterback was in overtime at Penn State a couple of years ago. I mean, just looking at what do you remember about that setting, and did you personally grow up a lot that night or take another step that night the way y'all won in overtime?
I think we grew up as a team. Honestly, that night, myself personally, I think it was one of the things. Just a little adversity. I guess you could say at that time that was my edge. See how far I could go because my knee was hurting, but understanding that I didn't want to come out the game. I knew I still could play and be able to make plays, and so it was just one of the things you had to fight through it mentally. And luckily, God's help, I was able to do that. So I'd say I did grow up in that aspect, but I think as a team, as a whole, we grew up.
JT, you guys have won 20 straight on the road, which is it hard for even you to like believe that, knowing how hard it is to win away from home? What does that say about the program, and how do you think you've been able to do it?
I think it's just preparation, honestly, and then understanding that all the things that we go through in the off season that Coach Mick, I said at the end of the game, I was like, all the things we would kind of get mad at him for, in the off season, man, it's like, oh man, why are you making us do this? Why are you making us do that? But that's the tough times we go through then. It really comes up when we're on the road. It comes up at home sometimes, but you got your family there, you got home crowd to support you and things like that. But on the road, it's just you and 70 other guys, just the boys. And so that's when those hard times in the off season come up, and that's when it's got to come through your play. And so I think that's really what it is. It's credit to Coach Mick and the strength staff.
Give an example of something he does that in the offseason that maybe you guys are thinking, what in the world are we doing this for?
Nah, I ain't gonna give away the secrets. I ain't gonna give away no secrets.
JT, you've played in a whiteout and you've been to Camp Randall now. Obviously, been in a lot of hostile venues, but how do they kind of compare to each other? What you dealt with 2 years ago and Saturday night?
Nah, they're both great. College football atmospheres. I think I don't know how many people sit. I think Penn State has more people, so I think at times that could be louder. But I mean, third down, I think we did a better job than we did at Oklahoma, but it was definitely rowdy. The jump around was crazy. I didn't jump around. We were, going in the score, so I was a little more focused on that. But no, I think that's Big Ten football. I think that's the great thing about it, playing in the Big Ten, is you go to places like that and get to experience those type of things.
As you
JT,
analyze the
there was
passing
one
game,
point
go
where
ahead.
you said that you thought your reputation was that of a weenie-armed quarterback. Do you still feel like that's the way you're regarded?
No, I got caught up in it myself. I think I was scrolling through Twitter too much or something. But I don't have a
as you analyze the passing game right now, JT, what's like maybe one thing or maybe even two things you feel like you guys need to get better at as you analyze the passing game?
I think timing. I think at times maybe I was ready to throw and the receivers, weren't quite open, or maybe I need to slow down my drop in order to allow them to take a little longer to get open. But I think more timing-wise, and that's the biggest thing when you throw deeper passes down the field, is you have to have the time there. Otherwise, linebackers get underneath routes or safeties clamp down on routes. So I think with that, we have to be on time in the passing game. I think me and the receiver tight end, we could all get better.
JT, I think there's a thought that maybe that there's a lot of wide receivers rotating in, and it might be even too much. How much, when you talk about timing, do you need to be throwing it to the same person in practice to develop that, and why do you think maybe the timing is a little bit off?
I don't think, I guess the rotation has anything to do with that. I have faith in what we do, offense, and Coach Smith and the guys he puts in there. I believe in them. It's not like I came to him and was like, hey, I don't like, so and so and on this play or whatever like that. I mean, whoever he puts in there, the rotation that they have, I don't know what it is. I'm comfortable with anybody throwing it to them. And then what was your second one?
Why do you feel like you guys might be struggling a little bit in the time?
I think part of it, I think it's just on myself. I may be, hurried in my drop, where there was times where I would hitch twice and I would take a drop 3-step and I'll hitch twice, and I didn't feel like, I thought routes were on top of each other or something like that. So maybe I was getting back there too fast, or you know what I'm saying, or it just took a long time developing for them getting open. But we don't 3 and 2 hitch on offense. It's 3 and 1 hitch and the ball's out, because we don't want to hold the ball in order for the rush to get a hold of it. So I think it's probably more on myself, just taking time in my drop, letting those guys, get downfield.
Is there a sense that
Two more questions, folks.
is there a sense that no matter how things are going in the game, that you as the quarterback, you sense y'all as an offense have an answer eventually that you can get to? I mean, do you have that in your mind? I mean, I don't know if it's confidence, but I mean, could you speak on that? I mean, because they took away a lot of things from you guys on Saturday, but including the option to the edge, but y'all finally went away from that a little bit. But just what is it like out there knowing that the answer's there somewhere,
Yeah, I mean, if you don't think like that, then I don't think you're going to win a lot of games. It's almost like counting yourself out. It's almost like, man, they got us if we can't do anything else. Like, that really doesn't make sense to me. So, yeah, I always have faith in our adjustments and, what we try to do on offense. I think the coaches do a great job of making those in-game adjustments, and we do a good job coaching up on the sidelines, and we go out there and execute it the best we can. So, yeah, I don't think there's any point where it's just like, man, they covered everything. I don't think that's a real thing for us. So,
Hey,
or
JT.
any offense.
JT, we know
Last question.
one of the things you're really good at is sort of when things break down is just making sure the play doesn't end negatively and you get 2-3 yards, whatever it takes. But it seemed like against Wisconsin, throw to Marcus, throw to Dontre, and I think you had one to Terry as well, where you scrambled, but you scrambled kind of to throw rather than scramble to just make sure you got 2 yards. I'm just curious if that's something you wanted to work on and do more, if that's just sort of what the game dictated to you.
Yeah, I don't really, I think that was just more the flow of the game. And that was the thing. There was times like I know definitely the Marcus and Dontre that the protection was great, and so with that I was able to stay on the move and keep my eyes downfield and able to deliver the ball to him. And when to Terry, I think I had a little pressure off the right side, and I scrambled to the left, and he was able to make the pass. But I think it was just more the flow of the game. Scramble drill is something that we do. I remember when Braxton Cardell were here. I was the same thing when they played as well. So it's not like I know myself, it doesn't seem like that all the time, but I don't know. It's something that we still do constantly throughout practice. So it's not like that was, I guess, foreign to us by any means.
Hey, JT, you made 9 of your last 10 completions. Does the game feel different to you when it's on the line?
I don't know. It's almost like I think great players kind of visualize themselves in those situations, in the off season and when you're throwing routes and all the time leading up to actually the season. So I think that's something that I definitely try to do is play the situational play. Where we're down and we need to score in the red zone and we throw a fade. You know what I'm saying? That was something that we didn't know in practice. It wasn't like that was new to us or the situation, anything like that, because it's almost like I seen it before in my head. So and with that, it was just going out there and executing it. So I don't think it was. I don't know if it was more of the pressure there and then playing better because of pressure. I don't think that's it. I think it's more preparation and just being ready when the moment comes.
Thanks, JT.
Thanks, JT.